I doubt that happens. I think it's just one of those after credit scenes that sets something up that will never happen. Maybe I'm surprised in 3 years, but I don't think it's happening.
That's another issue I've been having with these movies is the post-credit scenes. Is because at the start, when they were first doing it, they used to mean something. Like you saw sort of like Nick Fury sort of turn up at the end of Avengers and sort of like promise of like an eventual like Avengers team up. You had like things like Thor's hammer at the end of like Captain America or something like that. I can't remember when his post-credit scenes sort of popped up, but they used to like mean something, these post-credit scenes. And I genuinely can't remember the last time I sat through a post-credit scene and thought, okay, this was worth it. And I'm like genuinely excited to see what comes next. Even, I think the last one was probably the one in Shang-Chi, where you had them sort of like examining where like this beacon was coming from sort of the rings. And he's like there deliberating with sort of Bruce Banner and Captain Marvel. And you're thinking, okay, cool. Like there's like something more to the mystery here, which didn't eventually pay off to anything or hasn't yet. But it's just really frustrating.
There's been a few too many of these, right? There's also the one about, I don't even remember which movie that was, where Blade kind of has an 80 art line about, it's about time or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's Eternals. When he speaks to Jon Snow's character, I'm going to call him Jon Snow because I can't remember what his character is.
Black Knight. Yeah.
Black Knight.
We're also never going to see that character. So like they're writing checks they can't cash, right? And they have been for years. And number one, they feel obligatory now. Like I didn't even like the only reason I saw the mid-credit scene is because the people next to me refused to get up. So I was kind of stuck in the middle of my row. Yeah. And everybody started leaving after the mid-credit scene. I didn't even see the end credit scene, and I'm not terribly motivated to find out. I can read the Wikipedia summary to see what happens in it, and it doesn't sound all that interesting. So it's a gimmick that's kind of overstayed its welcome by a decade, and like too often it's just a fake out, like something that's basically market research, like how people will react to it, and if they don't react to it, then they'll drop it, which I guess is better than them doing it anyway. But like especially in this where the movies are in fact not connected, right? This is not a shared universe. Like Null is not showing up in the next Morbius movie, right? If there is one. These things don't hang together in that way, and so now there's even less of a point to them.
Unless they were going to tease some magical crossover between like Spider-Man or something like that, then we really didn't need what we got in these post-credit scenes. So it was just a bit annoying, and I had to like sit through it because again, the people that I went with are like kind of like sort of they've been trained to sit and wait for it. And these days, I actually normally just read it online. I actually don't sit and wait for them anymore. I just like kind of like read what's happened online. But I kind of like sat and waited until the end of it, and I was like, this was such a waste of my time.
I think Null is a complete nothing burger. Yeah. Even if he does show up, he doesn't seem interesting. He doesn't seem to do anything any interesting thing other than having created the symbiotes. But I don't see how that makes an interesting story. I don't see how he has an interesting motivation or interesting story or anything like that. He's just villain guy.